real estate agent versus investor. How to deal with an investor. Hi, I'm Paul R. Atkinson, your real estate coach. And today we're here to talk about how to deal with an investor. Are you a real estate agent or a realtor and wondering how to deal with an investor? Well, with my 15-year plus of dealing with investors and all type of buyers and sellers, you'll find in this video today the tools and the techniques of how you can deal with an investor. So there's pros and cons. If you are the one that are practicing and liking to deal with an investor, that's great. They're hard to work with, but I'm going to show you. But before we get started, click on the subscribe button to follow, and just know that when I have something new, it'll come right to you. You won't miss a thing. And also send me a comment. Just let me know any feedback. If there's a list or a script that you want, I have many scripts how to deal with investors. I have many scripts how to present an offer to a seller's agent or a seller directly. So just let me know what you need and I'll send it over to you. So let's get started. Hey, you're a real estate agent, right? Or you're a realtor. Okay, that's wonderful. How do you deal with an investor? They're the toughest kind. They're the toughest buyers you could deal with, or seller for that matter. They always want to cut that commission, right? If you're going to list their property, hey, why are you going to do it for 6%? I'm giving you multiple. I'm going to give you more and more. So you need to do it for 4. And you give away 3 and you take 1. No, 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 no. You want your investor to find value in you and do a trade-off. Let them know that, hey, look, you're going to get them that top dollar, okay? If they want to see X amount of dollars, then let them know that, hey, look, I'm going to get you X amount, and what's on top, buddy, that's my commission, okay? You know what you want to get, well, I know what I want to make too, and that's just my simple standard 6%. And if I have to co-broker 3%, and that's okay, I get 3, but I don't want to cut my deals, all right? It's that I have to eat. Now, I understand the volume, but we should respect each other professionally. That's one of the things you should tell your investor. And when you're working with an investor, if you're an investor, respect your realtor, respect your real estate agent in the work that they have to do. Let them bust their tail to get you that bottom line that you want to see and even more. So when it comes to the buying side of dealing with an investor, this is like the hardest thing to do. In my many years of doing this, I tell you what, sometimes I just cringe. However, you know, I understand how to deal with people and how to work with investors. It's wonderful to be able to get involved with an investor that comes to the community and actually take a property that looks, you know, like a dump and then just turn it into something amazing. And I really love to see that process. Investors are amazing because that's their contribution to society. So the investors, I just love to see when they take this dump or this home that's just like looking terrible on the block, and they just come in and they landscape it, you know, roof it, they make it beautiful. Think about it, guys. That's an amazing thing. So the challenges that you will have in working with an investor on the buyer side and finding the right deal that makes their margin is immense. It's big. The challenges are huge. It's huge. So here's what you have to understand. Be a rational thinker. An investor is the one that spends the money and you never know how it's going to go. So they have to have that margin, and sometimes it could be like 20, 25% because they have to have that room for error, and they also have to have a rate of return, ROI on their investment. They could have borrowed the money on their own, and there's even the cost to borrow the money. So there's a lot of factors. So how do you do this? Well, you can obviously set searches up, right, inside of the MLS. And when you set the search in the MLS, one of the techniques that I use is, for example, I'll set in the MLS system the square footage of, let's say, for example, 2,000 square feet. And for this, I know that typically a fully updated, very nice 2,000 square foot home in a city of blah, blah, blah is about 350,000. So I'll set my marker for about like 150. Show me a 2,000 square foot house for 150 and below, or 175,000 and below. Because you see, you could put that margin in there. So when you set that MLS search for like 150,000 and below, something like below the market value inside of your market area, you can get alerts. You can get alerts and it could go straight to the investor. You know how many times I've had these alerts set up and I am just like going through my day and then my investor just hits me up and like, hey, Paul, and this is what I love about them, by the way. Hey, Paul, listen, the one you just sent me this morning, 555 Sycamore Street. Listen, I already checked it out. Let's get an offer in right now. We're going to pull full price, all cash, close in 5 days, no inspection. That's what I love about the investors, when you come across that way. But you've got to set that up. You've got to set that up to make it happen. Another thing you could do besides setting things in the MLS, you could be more active. You can be a little bit more aggressive in a sense that not only do you set something up inside of the MLS, but if you're the kind of guy that I am, or the kind of businesswoman that you know you ought to be, you would go and drive the communities and look for stuff. Yeah. Drive down a block and look at the crappiest house you see. You know, grass a little overgrown. Looks like it hasn't been painted in like 50 years. You can just tell that, you know, but you're on a good block. You're not on a bunch of crappy houses block. You're on a block that's like really nice. And you're like, oh man, if we got top dollar, if we got a property in here and get it sold for top dollar, we could do well. That's the block I'm talking about. Go on that block and find the one that kind of looks the worst, and then be that bulldog, okay? You see somebody in that yard? You know how many times I've done that? And I go and I approach them. Excuse me. Hi, hello, sir, ma'am. Good afternoon. My name is Paul Atkinson and I sell homes in this community, and I have an investor that could do cash for this property. May I talk to you for a minute? And go up and talk to them and just get to know them a little bit. Say, hey, how long have you been here? You got to build a little rapport, guys. Don't just jump it. Don't just ram it down the throat. Remember, my 5 steps of the sale training helps you to be that skillful seller. Meaning not a seller or sell a house, a skillful seller in your skills. You can sell people very well. 5 steps of the sale, okay? Look into my training that does that. It's amazing training, amazing. So now when you talk to that individual and you start to get them to like you, then you start to do a little fact find. How long have they been there? Have you considered to sell before? Would you be interested in selling if you had a great, price? Yeah, I would. So what's a great price for you? I don't know. Well, just think about it. What do you owe the bank? Do you owe anything? No, I inherited this from my grandma. Oh, well, oh, that's wonderful. Congratulations. I see that you inherited it. Well, I know it's very tough to maintain a property of this size, Is that something challenging right now? And, we can get this thing put to a closing very quickly if you like. You could get some money and be in another property somewhere. And I could even help you with that, to find another property. Yeah, you can? Absolutely, of course I can, buddy. My name is Paul Atkinson. I'm the best real estate agent on the block. Okay, so here's what we got to do. What do you owe the bank? You said you didn't owe the bank anything, right? Okay, wonderful. Do you have any idea what you would like for the property? What would be a good price for you? Or can we go inside and sit down? Let me take a look. Is that all right? Okay, good. Let's go inside. Take a look around, have a seat, and ask, what do you think you'd want to make this deal close? Because I've got my investor right now standing by for the phone call. Oh, if I could get XYZ, I think I'll be okay with that. Okay, are you sure you're good? Okay, wonderful. Okay, good. So I'm going to go ahead and let's just put this in writing right here, right? Because I always walk in my listing agreement. Okay, this is just a commission agreement that should I bring you a buyer right now, you agree to pay my commission of X amount, and I also acknowledge that the price that you want is X amount. Is that okay with you? Do you feel comfortable with this? Because I'm going to make your dreams come true right now, but you're okay with this, right? All right. Now, you see, here's my business card. I've got my badge on. I'm a licensed realtor. I'm here to protect the transaction, okay? I'm acting as a transaction broker, and this form says this also right here, that I'm here to represent the deal, to make sure this happens for you. Is that okay? All right, wonderful. We'll just go ahead and sign right here, all right? Now, let me get my buyer on the phone. This guy has cash. Hold on a second. Ring, ring. Hey, Tom, listen, buddy. Put Tom on speaker. I've got Mr. Johnson right here, 555 Sycamore Street. He's looking for X amount of dollars. Do you have a moment right now? Is this something you would consider to do all cash? Can we close right away with him? What do you think? Tom does his things. Give me 5 minutes. I'll call you back. Okay, no problem, no problem. Hang up. Hey, Mr. Johnson, so tell me more. How long you been? Build the rapport with Mr. Johnson, right? Keep it going. Your buddy, your investor calls back. Put him on speaker. Let's build the intimacy, build the trust. Build the trust. That's what it is. Put him on speaker. And you say, hey, okay, my investor buyer friend, can you do this price for this man? No, I look at maybe I could do this amount. Okay, wait a second. What do you think, Mr. Seller? It's just, it's just 5,000 off. It's 10,000 off. I mean, but still, you're going to get a deal today, and you're going to get it done, and you'll be out of this house. And I could get you into another hand right away. We can start looking tomorrow. As long as we get the deal done today, we can start looking tomorrow. You're good. Okay, let's make the deal. No. I want my full price, and that's it. Okay, let's bring it to terms and close the deal. Investors can be very wonderful to work with when you get the things that they need. Remember, they have a margin, guys. They have expenses. They have things that they have to cover, and you need to find the right deal for them. So let's just recap real quick, guys. Remember, you can set it up in the MLS. That's like cookie cutter, but they already have, everybody looking, so, and they're looking for themselves. So that's kind of like hard. But if you want to catch something for an investor that have money, get on the street. Go drive down the street and look for the crappiest house and knock on that door. If nobody's there, knock on the neighbor's door and ask them who owns this house. You have someone that would like to buy it. How can you connect? You know how many times I've done that? I've gotten contacts with people that are like out of the state from the neighbor. Build that much rapport. Hey, listen, you can do it. Just remember, if you want more in depth on this technique, click on the link below and just send me a comment, or just always remember you subscribe, because every time I come in depth with something, you're going to take it and you're going to run with it. Listen, guys, it's a pleasure always. And if you need anything, you know what to do. And I will see you next time. Go get him, Tiger.